It's alright, alright, alright. Listen, babe. Oh, yeah. 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 It's alright.
Hey, welcome back.
What's happening? What's happening?
Hey, man, you got a good class plan tonight, man.
Another one, like DJ Khaled.
Another
one.
Hey, I'm excited as hell about this class. I'm actually, I don't know about anybody else, but I actually been enjoying the classes, man. It's nice to see this. You know, they say the highest level of intelligence is not being a genius. The highest levels of intelligence is simplifying, right? And to be able to own simplicity with complex ideas is the ultimate form of intelligence. And I think, which speaks highly of why I value the way you're taking these very multidisciplinary levels of knowledge and then making it really simple, right? I hope that people are at home challenging these ideas, are trying to take ownership for themselves. And I think once you decide you want to take ownership of a lot of his ideas, the ideas that you're espousing his class, I think what people are going to realize the level of complexity that you're simplifying. And I think it's easy to take for granted when somebody can take complexity and simplify it and assume that it's simple. It's like, you know, like a three-pointer seems simple until you get to NBA and realize how complex it absolutely is, right? And so I really am appreciating how you're taking some very complex ideas in behavior science, neuroscience, statistics, economics, history, and the integration of that, and then telling these stories through relatable experiences, or even taking hip hop cultural experiences and showing how, or even sports, and showing the complexities of these ideas. This class should feel difficult. If it's easy, then he's not a good instructor. So if you're in this class, you're like, oh, I got it, which reminds me of, Kelly's performing.
Oh yeah,
She just brought a brand new Tesla.
Kelly's a goat.
Yeah, she's performing, and she bought the Tesla SUV at that. She didn't even buy the two Tesla. She bought the big one, right? And I don't know the name of these Teslas, but just the SUV version is expensive. And but I remember when she was in class and just freelancing, taking little makeup jobs here and there. Or she used to do eyebrows, right? One time she even asked me, I was like, don't do that. But anyway, she's doing eyebrows, right? And this is a cool story I want to share. She said, Nana, Nana, I don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about in class. I have no idea. This is 6 years ago. I have no idea what the fuck you talking about. She said, but guess what? I'm going to stick around so I can eventually figure it out. That and lo and behold, she now has her own shop. She's doing financially exceptionally well, right? Really well. But she's stuck in there. Her brain wasn't even used to hearing this type of information based upon her surroundings. But she stayed, and she's still in class. 6 years later, same thing with Shakina and a whole bunch of others. They're still in class, leveling up, right? They're literally treating the class as a form of nutrition, alignment. They use it to challenge themselves to become better at their craft. And so, it's just, I appreciate you for the simplicity. I appreciate them for exemplifying commitment. And with that being said, I kind of want to use that to lead into why I'm up here making a quick announcement, and then I'm going to talk to him briefly about this, our Miro board. We dropped a podcast this week. I've been going on my way to find the dopest podcast ever. When I say dopest podcast, they're tied to the most progressive science, because when a lot of this information came out about self-help, science hadn't necessarily jumped on board. It was kind of like people kind of pulling on wisdom, but they were kind of idealists too. They were idealists. So they kind of said, this should work, so I'm going to espouse this idea to you. Hopefully you follow this idea, and it'll work for you, right? Often they would mask it with so much inspiration and motivational talk, you really didn't get a chance to really examine, or you weren't able to look at, okay, does this really work? So mind you, neuroscience and science moves a little bit slower because it has to replicate. So it's hard to put out a big idea about anything because there's no such thing as one size fits all, right? And what they found is that science started to really engage in tools on how to change behavior and how to get people aligned with their personal happiness and grow and develop themselves. They found that it's very similar to the Bible, Zen, Buddhism, Islam, that these books actually are books of deep principles, right? Many of us look at these books through rationality, but they're actually books of deep, deep principles. And if you understand that, you can extract a lot of powerful tools out of these books. But a lot of times we don't extract the proper amount of tools because we're trying to use our limited rationalization. This is why everybody, the Bible's a contradiction, or the Quran don't make. We're all trying to use this as, well, I'm not sure this really happened. Where's Noah's Ark? If you can't find Noah's Ark, I don't want to hear this shit, right? And what we don't realize is it's the principles. It's the principles. It doesn't matter if the Noah's Ark even exists or not. If it does, good. If it doesn't, good. They're both good. It's the principles that become very, very valuable. And so as science dives deeper into things, they realize, these principles are real, right? These principles are solid. So when I find these podcasts, they're full of rich principles. And I'm removing all the self-help, motivational jargon that sounds really good, but I promise you next year you'll be in the same seat, at the same bank account, with the same struggles, having the same dumbass arguments, the same ass people, right? In order for you to evolve, that your life is in a constant, your life should feel like entering an amusement park, and as you walk in, you're discovering all these new experiences, right? But instead, we think that motivational speakers, all they actually end up doing long term is making you think there's something wrong with yourself. And there's nothing wrong with any of us. Well, some of us may have mental health. Can't speak for those. But for most of us, we think we're flawed, but it's not us. It's our methodology on how we're approaching life. And so the podcast I just put out is so damn amazing that even I listened to it about 3 times. He put it on the ground where the chickens can get at it. But however, many of you guys are sitting in class and you're waiting for somebody to hold your hand. You're not ready. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't give a fuck. You get mad. You can quit the class. You won't hurt my money. You're not ready. You got to be willing to go get this shit. If you don't have the drive in you, there's no class in the world that can give you the drive. Look, an obese person can watch all the 24-hour fitness commercials they want. They ain't going to the fucking gym. They can watch all the new workout videos. They can watch them all. They're going to eat all the food while they're snacking, watching them fucking videos, and be fat as hell. You could even take your fat ass to the gym. If you don't have the wheel, you'll go there and be walking a half a mile per hour on a treadmill getting fatter. Talking about I did 5 minutes. Oh, God, that's just so much. I'm out of here. Right? You got to have the wheel. Like, if you go to a trainer, if you don't have the wheel, the trainer can't do shit with your big ass. And if you hella sensitive, talking about fat shaming, fuck you. Okay? Because at the end of the day, obesity is an issue that's killing our people. So you can kiss my ass. So just tell the white women, that your social justice white women, that what the fuck I said. Because that's all y'all really do is following white women with that shit. Our people, we need to pay attention to our weight and our health and our condition. So back to what I'm saying. If you want to improve your condition, stop reaching for external solutions. It's internal. Stop reaching for external solutions, internal. If you want happiness, stop reaching for external solutions, it's internal. If you want success, stop reaching for external solutions, it's internal. If you want a better life around you, in the podcast I put out, and this is one point the podcast made, the world you are experiencing, okay, let me give y'all some game. I'm going to fuck y'all up, so next time y'all decide y'all want to talk to me, just know I'm reading you. When you start telling me about your stress about the world, you just told me how you're showing up to the world. You get what you give. You get what you give. The world's mean, it's because you mean. The world don't give a fuck about you because you don't give a fuck. The world don't care about you. The world treats you like you have no value because you ain't engaging the world in a valuable way. You get what you get. Like I was going to do, this podcast came out, and I was been thinking about giving you guys this really superficial exercise. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Because I don't feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to do stuff like this. And the exercise was, I want you to spend a whole week saying hi to everybody first. Smile and say hi to everybody first. And I want you to see how your world's going to change. A lot of you guys are suffering because you're showing up to people based upon the voice in your head or your fear of being rejected. If you just went through every day, this is something I think Nation Islam teaches this to the men in Nation Islam. Like, they teach you how to greet. If everybody you see, just smile and say, how you doing? You're going to get 10% they're going to say, they're not going to look at you or acknowledge you or even frown. You can't let the mentally health damage your world. But 90% going to fuck with you. And guess what? Your brain's going to mainly remember that 1 or 2 that didn't smile. That's what your brain wants to do. But you got to get your brain trained to pay attention to the 90% that does smile at you. And you're going to realize that the world that you're having, the experiences you're having, it's not the world. It's you. It's you. Men ain't shit. No, you ain't shit. Thank you for telling me that. Now I know who ain't shit right now. Like, literally, everything you tell me about yourself, you just talk. When you complain about others, you tell me about yourself. Because a world is not the binary threshold, it's either this or that. It's a world of gray. And so when you function from a space of binary thresholds, you're telling me how you see the world and how the world sees you. But it's not true. It's how you're showing the fuck up. So this podcast is the coldest podcast in the game because the formula that he's going to spell out to you, it's a simple formula. I live by that formula to this day. I can say that formula has played a huge role in my complete success, not just business, my overall life success. I'm probably one of the happiest motherfuckers you're going to ever meet because of that formula that's in that podcast. But some of y'all, with your lazy asses, going to sit there and just listen to class and go home. We done send it out an email. We done post it on a Facebook group. If you want to change, I'm not going to push your fat ass to change. Not fat, physically, mentally fat. If you want to change, you got to at least show up with the intent to get down. You don't know what to do? That's fine. We're going to help you with that. But we're not here to push your fat ass into the gym and keep you moving. That's not what anybody's going to do for your ass. The world is 8 billion strong, and it's constantly, numbers are coming and numbers are going. If you don't perform, the world will forget about you. The world don't give a fuck about you. If you want the world to value you, then show up to the world and give value to the world. If you give no value to the world will act like you. There's a motherfucker who was born in 1789 that no one will ever know their fucking name. But they thought they was hella important. They thought the world revolved around them. Guess what? They dead, motherfucker. They dead. And so will your old self-important, egotistical ass be if you don't get your ass up and do something. Your greatest joy in life is going to come. Look, if you show up for others, you mentally heal yourself. Stop sitting in the room smelling all kind of fancy ass herbs and trying to focus. If you really want to heal yourself, show up for others. Do the shit you're supposed to do. Your life gets way, way the fuck better. Okay. Back to you, Court. I'm going to change subjects.
Yes.
So we did this exercise on food deserts. Court cut me off in 5 minutes. I don't give a fuck what's happening. But, Court, I want to ask your thoughts. When you look at these, we asked everybody to write down solutions on Miro. So if you guys get a chance, log into Miro. And go to the food desert solution. Let me see if you can pull it right to me. There's a section. I'm not on my computer to pull everybody to me. Let me see if I can do it here. Okay, yeah, I can. Okay, let me just get real quick and get to that. I'm going to bring it right to me. Hold on a second. Okay, I guess you can. Okay, yeah, so where it says food deserts, there's a section that talks about, it's called Food Desert Solutions in Miro. You should see it. It's one of the, it's a whole bunch of stickies, notes on top of it. If you don't see it, I'll pull everybody to me in a second. Josh, bring my laptop for me a second, please. You mind pass me that laptop? So I can bring everybody to this section. In this section, I want to hear, Court, from you. What do you think is a challenge with all the solutions that were posted in the food desert solutions section? Thank you, Josh. Let's give Josh a hand. Sit your ass down. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
I think they're very safe. I think it's if almost you said, hey, write a solution. First thing comes to your mind, go. That's what was written. I think we playing within the lines and the rules. I think in order to really come up with solid solutions, they got to be rule breaking, and they have to start where you stand. Start where you stand, because some of these is okay ideas, but the length of time it's going to take to buy some land and do all that shit, it's going to be hella long, years, versus what things can you do that are rule breakers that can get you in the game now and start making impact now. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, so we had a stall. I wanted to jump back into this exercise, but I think we need to take another shot at the solutions. Let me tell you what's the problem. One, I feel like the solutions are institutionalized.
Okay, he just introduced the word. The word. I love that word.
So you guys have jobs, or you guys come from jobs, and you guys are asking for permission to help your people. Two, I don't think you see your people. So a lot of these ideas, let's see, fresh food pop-up shops. People don't like the food now. They're used to eating bad food. You got to meet them where they're at. Community gardens with an option agriculture cooking class. Cooking class? Why do I want to learn how to cook vegetables? I like the way I cook the food I cook already, right? I like my French fries, my fried chicken, whatever it is, right? Group economics would put our monies together and purchase. Okay, how does somebody just move? Somebody just moved the whole damn board. Hold on a second. One second. Let me see if I can move this back real quick. Hold on a second. I forgot to move it back. But somebody just moved the whole board. But anyway, a lot of these answers I'm looking at. Thank you, whoever just did that. How you just did that? Okay, thank you. There you go. I'm gonna lock it real quick. Just lock it out real quick. There you go, locked. There you go. I thought it was locked already, but I guess it wasn't. A lot of these answers, if you're gonna come up with a solution for your people, you gotta see your people. You gotta pay attention, like, what are the trends of people at that level of poverty who don't eat vegetables? Right? I don't know if you guys, like, one of my favorite hangouts is South Side of Chicago, because I do this dance called Chicago Steppin'. And when I go to South Side of Chicago, a lot of people only eat like 3 or 4 things. You try to offer them anything else, they'd be like, yeah, give me a burger with no ketchup, no cheese, no lettuce, no tomatoes, just the meat and the bread, and mustard, right? Because it's a reflection of their traumatic relationship with food. They've had a traumatic relationship with food. They were denied so many different things that their taste buds have been pruned to very limited, selection. If you come with a solution, it has to meet people where they're at. 2, you don't need permission to go help your people. Okay, you guys see all the empty lots in the hood? That's farmland. You see all the backyards where people have backyards and not making any money? That's farmland, right? 2, what are some of the struggles that people deal with in the hood? They don't have a lot of money. Can you create a fast food solution that gives people that lands the food close to what their taste buds want at a cheap enough price that allows you to integrate fruits and vegetables back into their life, right? So now it becomes like a Walmart solution or a fast food solution, right? Because fast foods work in your community, right? How do you build solutions to meet people where they're at?
When I was a kid, even if you didn't have food for that morning or you didn't eat, my walk to school, by the time I got to school, I had all my fruits because they were at the trees of somebody's house.
Oh, yeah.
Fig tree, plums, the different kind of plums, the dark purple ones, had apple trees all throughout East Oakland. So on my way to school, I'd have the fruit that I needed for the day. Now that made you feel a certain way because it made you feel kind of like, ooh, I got to sneak this from the tree. But that was your community. There's hella creative things you can do just around that alone.
On top of that, too, I feel like a lot of these ideas are nonprofit ideas. Right? Like, how can I help my people? Right? No, how do you make a profit to help your people so it's sustainable? Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to help your people provide jobs and maintain sustainability and expand the idea to other black communities all over the United States and be a leader in that idea and then be in a position to control quality of the products that your community is receiving because you made it an industry? Wouldn't it be nice to even create an industry where competition comes along and even improves on your situation that your people benefit from? Wouldn't it be great that you made enough money to make sure that your children get the proper education and your family members get the proper education so they can participate in other solutions in the community? Or do we starve ourselves through scarcity approaches to the point that we're no longer capable of impacting our own community? I need you guys to start looking at this way like black people got money, people. Black folks got money. Like black folks spend money on some shit. Have y'all seen these shoes, these clothes, these cars, even these fake guns they put together? They spending money. Firework, they got money. It takes money to do a sideshow. Said tires, rubber don't went up. That's just expensive as hell right now. Black people got money, people. Black people have created so many startup solutions for other communities. Also, too, once you grow a robust solution in the black community, you realize there's other poor communities around the United States you can have a hell of an edge in by using the black community as a launch pad to a great business idea. You guys get on going with this? This smart, like, I need you guys to, like, instead of asking for permission to help your people, it's like, listen to your people, find out what they need, and just go do it, and do it in the most simplest way. Like, you know, we had somebody that started their business who was part of 510 Hope, and they were trying to get their product into stores. So they was going through all the formalities of getting it into stores. And the question I asked them is, how many have you sold? He said, you know, a little bit here and there. Go sell some shit. Just go sell your goddamn items. Sell to every friend. If you can't get your friends to buy it, that's an indicator there's something wrong with your products and services. Sell your products and services to the most easiest, most reachable person you can reach. Don't go for this, I'm going to become my own business owner now, so I'm going to get corporations to approve me. That's a job, bruh. That's a job. Go sell some shit. Shakina, when she first started her gym, she was out there going to people's houses, talking about, come downstairs, let's use a gym in your building. Hey, I meet you at the park. Now she has a gym that's all kind of cute and shit with fancy lights and shit. But at first came down to like a simple idea of, I meet you where you at. Court tells a story all the time. I got some t-shirts printed with, was it $300 or something like this? Opened up my trunk and found the right people at the right time. You want to buy these? The first indicator he sucked is he would have had those 300 t-shirts to take home with him. What gave him confidence to keep building is he sells out. He starts to get a fan base. If you sell an item and nobody ever comes back to get the shit, you suck. Let me just keep it 100. Right? Like, you need the beginning stages. You need that rough time to make you better. I don't need you to leave your house right now with the best business idea. I need you to go out there and work the business idea, but stay aware. Stay aware if people are not coming back. How many am I actually selling? Turn that fucking ego down and look at your fucking numbers. And if you're not selling nothing, then you need to just change it. Keep tweaking it until you align with the people you're trying to sell to. But don't go out there popping your collar because you sold 10 and your competitor's selling thousands. Like, literally, go sell your shit. But in order for you to sell your shit, turn that passion down on how raw you think you are, why you think you got the best product. This is what people need. This is what they should have in their life. Turn all that the fuck down and find out what people want. And grow them in a direction that eventually, maybe 10 years from now, they may be closer to where you think they could be as a community. But if you don't meet people where they're at, you may create a product that your people won't show. You're like, oh, black people don't support me. You didn't support them. What the fuck? Once again, I told you, the world you have is the world you created. Next time you say, you know, black people, first of all, I don't know how the fuck y'all got that word. Get that word out your vocabulary. There's no such thing as all black people are all the same. So when you say black people are this, it's your reflection of who you are. You use the N-word. You know, N-words be doing this. That's you. It ain't them. So in business, go back to business. This is the ways of thinking that ties into all this stuff. I need you guys to take another shot at this Food Desert Solutions on Miro. In this Miro and Food Desert Solutions, I need you guys to open your brain up. I need you to kind of think about it a little bit deeper. And stop the nonprofit shit. If you can't see a direct profit from what you're about to do, don't post that shit. I don't want to hear, yeah, you know, we just should all put our money together. Why? I don't need this many motherfuckers trying to manage with me. We don't get nowhere. If we ain't all trained on how to build a business, you got 10 motherfuckers in here expressing emotional ideas, and then there's one motherfucker in here burning sage and rubbing each other's back to them. I'm going to give them a sign. Not just saying, I know you're not going to do that. I'm just saying, you know, I don't need that shit in my life. Like, stop assuming, stop all this. Like, get real, people. This is why social justice is so fucked up, because it makes you unreal. Get real. Get real. Like, go sell some shit. And if it don't sell, if you want to get into the lemonade business, nobody buys your lemonade, then you're not doing a good job. And if everybody buy your lemonade, make sure you continue to expand. Don't be like Big Sale Betty. Now everybody got a chicken sandwich. Right? It's just, I just need you guys to think about this. This is all about, like, get grounded. Get back to selling items, if you can't sell one at a time, your phone's not ringing all the time, you probably don't have a good business idea.
Yet. Yep.
Simple. All right, bro. You ready to do this shit? Let's do it. All right. I'm out of here. I'm going to go in the background with Miro. I'm going to bring y'all to the slides. Slides will be on Miro, everybody. So make sure you log into Miro. And Shabisha will be raising your questions to the top. I'm about to go back here with Josh and get down. Here you go.
Man, what's good? What's good? What's good? So, I got word about last week's class. A couple people quit entrepreneurship altogether. They said, fuck it. Put their entrepreneurship hat, took it off, threw it away. Going back to the corporate world for good. I mean, it might be the best move. Because this shit requires a lot of grit, and it ain't easy. Broke some spirits in a good way. And I would say that we're gonna go a little lighter today, but we not. We're gonna keep going hard. We're gonna keep going hard. Keep pressing our foot on the gas, because this is what we do as entrepreneurs. This is how we build our muscle as entrepreneurs. Some muscles you gotta break down to rebuild. So that's the whole purpose of Ego as an Enemy is A, to break us down a little bit, and then B, to remind us that ego is not the enemy, but let's rebuild the right way. Because I don't know if you ever broke a bone and didn't get it healed correctly. You didn't get a cast, and it just grew back, and you were able to function, but it didn't have its full range of motion because you didn't really fully heal it. So the doctor had to break it again for it to heal properly. So that's sort of like us when it comes to our ego. Our ego has protected us, has helped us to survive through all of our bullshit trauma and the hood and all the things that we've been through. And it's created a temporary solution for us to get past where we came from. But this book allows us to kind of re-break it again. Not kinda. If you really read it and dive in, you feel like that. You're broken. Only for the purpose of rebuilding you so it's stronger and you have that full range of motion. That full range of motion. So this is the last Ego as an Enemy class. We're going to run through to the end of the book. Next book is Emotional Agility. So if you don't have that book, write that down. It's called Emotional Agility. That's where we're going to slide right into next week. So the first couple of chapters of that book, if you want to stay on par with the class, then read the book. There's an audio book. It's smooth. You can get through it. It's not super complicated, but it's super impactful and powerful. So, just from feedback from the last class, there was some questions, some confusion, some anger, some pain, but in a fun way that I want to review a couple of things. First thing was the slide about will getting rich be the worst thing that ever happened to you. That hit a nerve. So I want to hit the nerve again some more, just so that you understand really the concept and what I meant by it. I don't know the exact statistic. It's been a minute since I read it, but I think it's like 90% of all lottery winners go back to where they were before the lottery. They lose it all within a couple of years and go back to where they were. And if you ask them about the experience, they say winning the lottery was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Can you believe that? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine getting $100 million or $50 million, million of them, and then saying and being part of the 90 and saying this? I'm sure everybody who won that lottery at the very beginning was happy as fuck. And they thought that they was going to be part of the 10, right? Is because if you don't equip yourself before the money, when the money comes, it's going to hit you like a wave, hard. Have you ever stood like, you know, you on vacation, you at the beach, and you at the front of the sea, and you see the wave coming, and you just going to stand there and like just take it? Have you ever tried that? And it smacks you the hell on down. And not only does it smack you, it feel like it's holding you down there. Because you didn't calculate the velocity, the speed. It just looked pretty. Similar thing. What we do here in this Hope class is not give you the pretty shit. We want to equip you with game so you can handle it when it comes. I want to equip you with game so you can handle it when it comes. So part of equipping you is giving you the real. Giving you the real, the raw, the honest, so that when it's your turn, because the goal is for it to be your turn. That's the whole fucking purpose of this class. It's not for us to sit here and talk about big money. It's for us to be peers at some point. That's the goal. We peers at some point. I want all y'all to get big bags, but the right way, in a way that's sustainable and in a long game play. So when it hits you, you're not surprised by it. You're like, oh, that's what this is. Oh, that's what that is. I got it. Oh, man, I'm feeling this. That's what they were talking about. Okay, so what's my strategy? Not getting caught up in a wave of your ego and your own intelligence and your self-importance and thinking that's the formula that got you there. And then over time, you realize that's the same formula that's defeating you. So there's a book called Black Swans by Nassim Taleb, and he talks about black swans. And black swans are basically people that are on the tail end of every spectrum or wave, meaning most of the population is within this wave, right? Inside this wave. But then there's the corners, the ends of these are called long tails, and they're called black swans. It's people who defy the norm and do amazing things, great things, big things, change the game-changing things. And the rest of the population is in this bell curve. And that's just normality. And that's where most of us live in, is just this bell curve of normal. The average person makes $60K a year, $40K, whatever that average is. They do this. They have 2 kids. They live to be 79.8 years old. They do this. That's the bell curve. And money makers, business people, marketers, everybody, their job is to get control of the bell curve, to understand how to market, extract bread from you, get money from you, market to you, make you excited so you buy their product, or make you into a worker so you can work for them. You understand? The whole idea is to understand what's inside the bell curve. Anything outside the bell curve, blips or glitches in the matrix, they don't even acknowledge it because that's a one-off. I don't pay attention to that. I just want to know what the majority of people are doing so I can control you. I can market to you. And they're getting good now with AI, artificial intelligence, the invention of social media, TikTok, fucking Instagram, Facebook. We all have uploaded so much fucking information to these social media platforms that now they're using it to brainwash, to sell to us, to get us. Because a clothing company like, say, Shein will extract all the data from social media and know what trends just changed today. And they got a factory on the floor right now that they send the picture of what's popping and got 50,000 likes, and they'll make that product by the end of the night, and it'll be on the website the next morning. all because some black girls who had swag did a dance with that outfit on and it went crazy. That's the game now. You don't even get to benefit from it because you're inside the bell curve. So we committed and we made a promise that no, our goal is to create black swans. If not, this would be how to be good in a corporate world class, how to have a good job class, how to be a good worker class. This is called an entrepreneur class. So every entrepreneur is a black swan. It's a blip. It's way outside that bell curve. That's you. So you got to understand what comes with it, though, because it's safe inside this bell curve. You get benefits. You get mental health time off. You get to call the landlord. You get to call the boss. You get to write somebody up. You get to report somebody to HR if shit ain't feeling good or you're getting harassed. You get it's safe because they want to make it safe for you. They make it scary for you to step outside that bell curve and go into the black swan world. It's the wild out there. It's dark. You hear fucking noises at night. We say, no, our goal is to help create black swans. So in order to become one, you got to know the game, the full game. What's inside the bell curve and what's on the outside. And what's on the outside, some of it's going to sound like crazy shit, like harassment, like you being cruel, like you being an asshole, like fat. What the fuck? Like, you don't say that. That's not 2021. No, the outside of the bell curve is cold game real. And it's what you operate in, but you just don't talk about to the public because the public is in this safe space. You understand what I'm saying? So I say all that to say is there's a quote in the Bible that says, those who are faithful in least, help me out. Those who are faithful in least will be faithful in much. Something like that, right? If you're faithful in least, you'll be faithful in much. Faithful over little will be ruler over much. There's tremendous wisdom in that. In my entrepreneurial world, it's a similar saying. How you do anything is how you do everything. So when that slide came out about will becoming wealthy or rich or successful be the worst thing that ever happened to you, it's you have telltale signs now where you're at. Because how faithful are you over the little? Or how well are you handling the anything before you get to everything? Think about this shit. Because I tell you from my experience, I didn't think about it. So when that money hit my bank account, shit, all my weaknesses, all my addictions, all my idiosyncrasies, all the shit magnified all at the same time. So let's dissect some things. So one of the best ways to look at it is, in what situations in your life do you have access to unlimited of the thing? And how do you respond? How do you behave? So let's talk food. Now we can eat anything. It's cheap as much as we want. Everything. Fucking candy, soda, fast food, bad food, good food, everything. Most of us humans in America have access to unlimited resources when it comes to food at any time. How well do you manage that shit? How much self-discipline do you got? So you really expect to be a multi-millionaire and a millionaire and be cool? What about us? What about any of you who maybe are attractive, attract a lot of the opposite sex or same sex? You can smash anybody you want. How much discipline you got in that? Just because you can. You don't need money. There's certain things in life that you already have unlimited access to. You use those as your litmus tests and start working on your disciplines now in those things. How much do you take care of your surroundings? How much integrity do you have around your friends? Are you a person of your word? I'm telling you, it's going to count. It's going to count when it's all coming at you. And people's perception of you will change when they think you got money. It's coming for some of you. It's coming. We want it to come. So you may not even change. You may still be, in your mind, the cool-ass person that you was. But the perception of you is going to change when people think you got bread. They think you rich. They think you wealthy. Your words are going to have more magnification now. You could say a couple words and not even mean anything by it, and somebody can be highly offended by it because it means so much to them because of their perception of you and your money. So that's why you have to prepare in these moments, almost to where getting money is the next logical step for you. Becoming successful because you've positioned yourself, you working on yourself, your disciplines, who you are, how you treat people. People just expect you to be that person to get it because of how you position yourself. That's the goal. That's the goal. There's things in right now, you have influence over a group of people, somebody. Even if it's just your little sisters or brothers. You have influence, your authority. How do you treat them? You're a leader over your family. Maybe you have children. How do you lead them? It's all real questions that I've had to learn over time to rewire myself in order to handle it. It's the real shit. The best thing you can do if you do have children, your growth and your change is the best gift you can give your children. It ain't over. Your growth and your change is the best gift that you can give them. So if you spanking them and you giving them whoopings for doing shit and you stop, best gift you can give them. Because now you're learning how to be a better leader up here. Any questions before we move on from that one? That one was kind of a heavy one for a couple of folks. Any questions? Good? Second one was competition. I'm going to reiterate what I said about competition again. I'm not changing my stance. We cannot move as a human race without some level of competition. It's innate inside of us. That's how we evolve. So you can't ever get rid of competition. And yes, I've sat with a lot of the spiritual gurus. I have. And I've been in spaces where I threw competition out the window. And that works if you're on the top of a hill somewhere and all you do is meditate. It does work, if that's your move. But even then, you cannot deny competition because meditations change, meditations evolve, meditations get better. You're always looking for the best suited thing for you. So there's a form of meditate. There's a level of competition in everywhere. So it's not like you run from it or it's bad, but understand it can get dangerous if that's the only switch you have. It can get dangerous for you. And I say that is, if you go from 0 to 100 with competition all the time, you just at 100, you competing against everything, you will be a lonely motherfucker. You may win some, you may win big, but you will be a lonely motherfucker because innately and subconsciously, you have to compete with everything and everybody, including your mate, including your children, including your parents, including your friends, you just don't know how to turn it off. And ain't nobody gonna want to be around you. God damn, shit. Is everything a competition? Shit. I'll race you to the, what the fuck? Let's see who can do this. No. Learn, if you don't know how to dial it down and dial it up, dial it down and dial it up in situationally, start with turning it down to 1 or 0 and just let your natural competitive energy be what you use. But fuck, don't do it, because eventually it's going to derail you on your purpose. When I say derail you from your purpose, it means if you're looking to the right and to the left all the time, trying to compete with the next motherfucker, you may get caught on their path and in their purpose and realize you ain't built for their purpose. So now you out here on a motherfucking island with no tools when they're on their path. That's when it gets dangerous. Stay on your path. You have the best, you're built for your path. You got the most tools for your path. Now, can it be good sometimes? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you have to make sure that it's regulated. I like to operate very low because I have a propensity, if I don't, I could be competing against everything. Everything could be, I keep it low to where it makes it easy for me to be happy for anybody who's winning, including my competitor. If you're a black man, you can be in my industry, cross the street from me doing the same thing I'm doing. But if you're a black man, I'm happy for you. And I'll tell you to your face. And I've done it. And they be looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, you gonna stab me or something? Like, no, come here, man. I'm hella happy for you. Good shit. They taken back by it. Because you can't stop me. You can't stop the best version of me. I don't give a fuck who you are. You cannot stop the best version of me anyway. So my path and my purpose is my purpose. So what I'm tripping off you for? That's how cultures can get very corrupted, also through competition. Plastic surgery, BBLs and all that shit, competition. I gotta do better. I gotta look better. Oh, you getting all the likes now because I gotta do it now. I gotta get back. You do competition. Everybody stunting on each other, shitting on each other, flexing on each other, all that shit, and getting diverted from the purpose. So keep it in context. Learn for it to be a knob and not a switch. If you can't, turn that motherfucker off and get on your path. Any questions on that?
Online, Ifa Funke asked, how do you keep it low? How do you keep it low?
It's challenging at the very beginning. You have to have a long conversation with yourself. And you have to understand that the current path in which you're going is getting you nowhere. It's a destructive path. So like we said last week in class, where we were saying you have to almost manually start being happy for people in their successes. You go into manual mode, and then you notice the times where you feel it in your system, because you guys know it's a feeling, right? It's a certain feeling of jealousy, and I got to watch yourself. If somebody say, I just got a new job, and your first mind says, man, well, I need to get one too. Shit, I got to get my shit together. When you immediately go to me, that means that level of competition and that ego is out of whack. So that's when you have to be in manual mode and start checking yourself every time. And once you start interrupting those patterns in yourself, over time, that level of competition is going to go down. I could say study Buddhism, because that's really one of the things that helped me too, but that's you ain't got to do that. But that's one of the things that helped me. That was really one of the pivotal things that helped me, is the detachment of outside world. Of anything on the outside. Understanding that can't nobody stop my path. And whatever my path is going to be, that's between me and God. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. A lightweight could be a distraction.
So what I'm hearing you say is, when we first start this, expect all of us to find it. No one is going to approach it and be like, well, I don't have that. Like, when we start, everybody in here, if you haven't been practicing that, you have it in spades.
Oh, absolutely. There may be one or two people who can turn it off and be like, I like that philosophy. Off. There may be one or two people. But the rest of us, me included, had to learn over time and practice in manual mode. Man, look, the idea that I'm free, once I remove myself from the idea of competition, the beauty of it is there's no longer any humans that have control over me anymore. Nobody can control me no more. No humans around me can make me run faster, or like, oh shit, nobody has control anymore. Once you flip that down. Oh, that's cool. You ran faster than me? Dope. That's great. Good job. Shit. How can I get better? Now, occasionally, if you bullshitting and you know you playing small, sometimes I can help you, snap you out. Man, I know. Look at bruh, he doing big things, and I know him. He used to come to me for advice. Sometimes I can snap you out, but in a way that you're not jealous, but you like, I know I'm better than that. Come on, let me get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? That's when it can be powerful for you. But understand, most of us, all of us fucking have it. Because if you play sports, what you don't realize is some of the top athletes, the best in the game, they ain't competing against you. They not competing, they ain't even thinking about you. How many people play sports as a kid? Few? I have. Occasionally, I come across somebody who was nice as fuck, and my competitor, like playing against me in the game, and he was just the nicest, like, cool cat. It was no, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna kill you. It was just like, yeah, okay, I'm about to do this. Yep, I'm about to do this. Okay, yep. Hey, watch this. Watch your teammate do this. he wasn't even thinking about, and he's the best in the game, the best at the time, because they don't play on those, they don't think about it in those terms of competing with other humans. It's between them and pulling the best out of themselves that they can pull, period, and their creator. That's it. I'm here I'm here for a purpose. And what I want is way bigger than what y'all motherfuckers is doing anyway. Why am I trying to play a black swan game competing against the bell curve? Those two don't add up. So understand, there's a pervading energy. We would not be 8-point-something billion people on this planet with the level of intelligence that we are now, running 4-minute miles with technology and AI and 200-foot buildings, none of that shit without competition. We wouldn't exist. So you need it. But operating in it in the sense of building your business and life and everything, it's a lot less than what some of you think you need. Some of you think without competition, I can't do good. That's your ego. It's your ego. Competition is going to be there. It's going to be in you. I got the happiest time for me is when I used to be the motherfucker on the road that if I'm on a freeway going a certain amount, 75 miles an hour doing my thing, and a car past me, I'm gotta past him. I was that mother. Y'all seen that before. Who are the dudes that get caught in the wind of somebody passing them that now they gotta follow them? That's competitive energy. It's just innate in you now. It's just part of you. You don't even think about it no more. You don't even know why you're doing it. When I was married, a lot of the times it just became a competition. We competing against each other. What the fuck is that? So that's more on that. Anybody have any questions about it before we move on? Shakina.
My brain's a little off, so sorry if it gets wordy. So my curiosity peaks when you talk about, like healthy competition, being able to see the good in other people, and like being able to celebrate their successes. Where my brain instantly went to was like parenting mode, because a lot of times in my entrepreneur rhythm, like I've kind of desensitized myself towards like hard shit because I got to do hard shit all the time. And then when I'm trying to like parent, I'm just like, suck that shit up and do it, because it don't matter if you want to do it or not. You just got to do it. But then like, I know it comes from because I do it to myself. Like I'm really hard on myself, and I have high expectations of my kids as well. How do you like instill healthy levels of competition in your children without enforcing that like same rigidity that you have on yourself? Because as an entrepreneur, you got to be tougher, because you can't be soft like everybody else. So how do you do that?
I mean, toughness and competition is two different things. I personally didn't intentionally instill competition into my kids, because everybody's different. Everybody operates different. To me, it's we set goals and we go after that shit and we get it. I'm a get it or die trying type of cat. So I don't care. It don't matter who's next to me or in front of me. It don't matter. I'm gonna either go through you, go above you, go over you, go under you. Just to get to my goal. So that's what I mean. And there's probably several answers to this. But in terms of instilling things in my children, I teach them to be happy for people around them. My youngest son was a hooper. He was good young. So he would come to me, like he would make friends in school or, his friends, and they come over to the house after school, and he introduced me to his new friend. Like, hey, Dad, this is Johnny. I just beat Johnny 21-0 4 times. Huh, Johnny? Tell my dad I just beat you 4 times. And he's looking like, yeah, he just beat me. Yep, he just beat me. I'm like, all right, chill, son. Like, yeah, whoop his ass. Play the best you can play. Whoop his ass. But still do it in the sense of good sportsmanship. And if he whoops your ass, that's good. It's going to help you get better. But don't view it as, don't look at him like he's the person you have to target. Because guess what? You may have a bigger capacity to go way beyond this person. Like, us as black folks, our capacity is amazing. It's crazy. What we're capable of is amazing. A lot of times, we're stuck competing against the person in the neighborhood, not realizing that you can be beyond that, way beyond that. So why would you limit yourself? Why do you limit yourself? In my lane, ain't no competition. Well, who am I compete against? Again, if you have a friend and you guys, your competition is healthy and it helps you get better, and you're from a space of we're getting better, and whoever wins is only helping the other person gets better and helping me sharpen my tools, like that's healthy. That's a switch you can turn on and off. It's good. But once a lot of us are stuck with that switch on and at 100, and it becomes destructive for you. That's it. If you realize that there's not a lot of people in your life that fuck with you, people smile and but you don't got no solid circle of friends or people, relationships, family, that means you might want to look at that. Because it goes back to the other classes. We're supposed to be advancing humans. That means everybody around us, our goal is to get them better. Make their life better than it was when they came. I'm an advancing human. I'm here to help you advance. Being around me is positive. Now, if you play sports, you on a court, it's to your advantage to be your absolute best. And if that means smoking somebody 21-0, then so be it. That helps them get better. But it's not because you're competing against them. It's because you need your desire to be the best player that you could be because you have a goal. You want to make it. That's it. Like, even in sports, even in anything, in business. Now, business it's the wild. It's a cold game. Know that it's motherfuckers who don't got that same philosophy, and they coming for you. Coming after you, trying to undermine you, undercut you, talk shit about you. They there. It's going to come. Anybody who builds their business to a certain level, man, that shit's going to come. So know it exists. Know it exists. How do you respond? If you respond with a level head and you playing a chess game, that's how you whoop they ass. That's how you whoop they ass. But if you competition, I gotta one up them because they one up me. Come on, blood. That's a never-ending destructive cycle, which we're caught up in. Competition is the reason why our young black boys won't stop killing each other. Because they trying to up the score. That's the super toxic, dangerous part of this. Ain't nobody even getting no money. It's not even about money, territory, controlling a block, the dope game, nothing. It's just up in the score. If you always trying to up the score on somebody, then you hella derailed. What's your purpose? What you doing? I've done it. I've stopped before I got caught up in a competition thing, and then I stopped myself, and I looked around, and I'm like, damn, I'm hella far from home. I don't even know how to get back. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? Shit. Stay grounded, because so imagine if you own that now, imagine if you got a couple million in your bank account. And your paranoia kicks in from last week, and now you trying to find out what your competitors is doing, and now you hiring private detectives because you got the money to, and you doing this because you got the money to, and you flying because you got the money to, and you over here because you got the money to, and you doing this shit because you got the money to, and you hiring a person specifically to tell you what your competitors doing because you got the money to. You doing all this shit because you got the money to, feeding you all this intel because you got the money. And you done lost your purpose and lost your way. And now the industry's changed, and you wasn't keeping up with your own business. Trill talk. True story. I didn't scare at the office today. I was banging on doors and windows and walls and screaming and shit because some of the hardest shit for me to do, in a good way, but some of the hardest shit for me to do at a particular time was one of my main competitors, major competitors, had a big win. Big win. And kicked me off. So imagine on a chessboard, like just the queen just came and just kicked me off. We was moseying along, growing our company in our own lane, and a competitor came and was like, "Hey, this is my bike now, punk. Get off. Go. Bye." Kicked me out my store, everything. My income stream gone. We scrambling trying to survive. Oh shit, what we gonna do? Our only recourse was we found an opportunity in Los Angeles to at least maintain some of our income level, but somebody had to drive down there every weekend. So me and another person would work the 40 hours a week at Courtsmith at the office and then drive to LA early Saturday morning and work pop-ups in LA every weekend for 6 months. So that I can continue to maintain some level of my business and pay my employees and do all that shit. A competitor, major one. Get out of here. Get the fuck up out of here. Did it in a gangster way, too. Gore, come here. You know this is my shit now, right? It's my shit. Oh, okay. That's what's up. So you ain't got to get up out of here today, but you got to get up out of here in about a week. Oh, okay. My tongue's bleeding. I was biting my tongue. Guess what happened? Kept it. I'm like, this. I'm not competing against him. I'm competing against. I'm working my purpose and building my brand. Got a call early this year. Hey man, let's sit down. Can we talk? I want to use you guys to do our bit to be our provider. Oh man, okay, cool. Get this, put this in the account. Then we got a call today. That's why I was banging on walls. Hey, get ready. You're moving back in. Oh, dope. But it's years of. If it was competition, I would have spent the whole time thinking of ways of how do I get back at them. How do I get back at them? No. Black culture teaches us that. Real business, is counterintuitive to that. Take them deep breaths, purge that out, and follow and stay in your lane, your purpose lane, and you'll be surprised what you can build. It's hella people right now looking at you guys, all of you, that's watching you from afar and from a corner, watching you. All they derailed from their purpose because they all in your shit, all in your Instagram, all watching you, judging you, saying what you ain't doing right or what you could be doing better, or what they gonna do better. Man, good luck. I hope y'all find some nuggets, but we moving. All right. You ready, Shabisha? There we go.
Manage yourself. What matters is that you learn how to manage yourself and others before your industry eats you alive. Micromanagers are egotists who can't manage others, and they quickly get overloaded. So do the charismatic visionaries who lose interest when it's time to execute. Worse yet are those who surround themselves with yes men or sycophants who clean up their messes and create a bubble in which they can't even see how disconnected from reality they are.
Yes. So as you are building and growing, we're talking building and growing now. Your business is growing. It's getting bigger now. You're starting to generate revenue now. And this whole night is going to be dedicated to giving you the game you need to manage yourself during these times so that you stay humble. So if you don't learn how to manage yourself, if you don't know yourself, if you don't know your idiosyncrasies, your weaknesses, your addictions, your happy, what makes you happy, your motivators, your inspirers, if you don't know yourself, then it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for you. The first person you got to get into a relationship with completely and know everything about is you. Fall in love with you. If you once you learn how to fall in love with you, unconditional love with you, your happiness levels shoot up. You like when you love yourself, even the weird shit, the weird parts, the freaky parts, the awkward parts, all of it. When you love all of it, then now there's an energy you give off that's congruent with yourself. And that allows you to show up to people and show up to problems and show up to failures in a way that it is not self-defeating. It's not judging. Now, if when things start growing and getting big, you come from a place of scarcity and now you're scared and you micromanaging everything, all it's doing is slowing you down. And it's feeding your ego, making you think you're so important that you got us here. And what typically happens is you'll get overloaded. Shit, I got to do everything myself. Now, also, if you have yes people around you, that's the feeling sometimes is to get yes people around you to feed that ego. My company's doing good. We growing. Yes, you doing good, sir. You doing good, ma'am. Yep. Any idea you come up with is the shit. That's ego feeding. That will devastate you one day. Because that group think over time will loosen your ideals. It will loosen the credibility. It's going to loosen the strength of what got you there. You need that tension. Somebody to disagree with you, to not feel what you're talking about. I got somebody on my staff, it irritates the fuck out of me all the time. But I love it because it breaks up that whole yes man shit. Disagree with me. Because two things are going to happen. It's either going to strengthen the idea or it's going to create a new one. So either way, we winning. It don't feel good. And most of the times, because that person doesn't have all the context, those ideas ain't even good. But the fact that it breaks it up and just keeps us questioning and having to reroute our conversations, you need that. So the bigger you get, you always want to have those around you. An asshole, somebody who don't agree with you, who you got to have that around you. If not, you're going to get caught up in your own hype, and over time, that'll come back to haunt you. Next slide.
When they start, before they have won, a team is innocent. If the conditions are right, they come together, they watch out for each other, and work together toward their collective goal. This stage he calls the innocent climb.
So this is an innocent climb. And if you built a business, you know what I'm talking about. And or if you've been on a sports team and won a championship, you know what I'm talking about. It's all these naive people coming together. They scared. They don't know each other. They humble. They kind of don't know what to expect, and they just want to do their best. Hey, how you doing? Let's get together. Okay, let's work together. So then the innocent climb is there's no egos yet. Everybody's just doing their part, working together, being cool with each other. They're on a team. They're doing it for the service of the team and the win. That's it. That's the innocent climb. A lot of successful teams start with the innocent climb, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. But then something happens, because when you get to that championship and you win it, and now the attention comes to you, now you're on a stage because a crowd now is rooting for you because you're a winner. Then something happens. Let's go to the next slide.
After a team starts to win and media attention begins, the simple bonds that join the individuals together begin to fray.
Okay, stop right there. You feel me? Now it gets a little nitpicky. Oh, well, see, why she do that? Why you come up? See, every time the camera's, you got to always show up like, it starts getting a little nitpicky. It's not broken. You're not cussing each other out yet, but you're starting to get a little irritated. Little minute things. Now you're not showing up. Now you're not jokey in the locker room no more, or you're not going to, some people are now not going to after work events. They're just not showing up no more because they're starting to get in their feelings. Maybe the cameras always come to you. Every time. After the game, it walks past Klay Thompson, goes straight to Steph Curry. Walks past Klay Thompson, straight to Steph Curry. So Steph Curry, cute. He has the family, the cute kids, the beautiful wife, and he has this little, I don't know, kind of personality. I don't know how I made 60 points and shot 3 points. I just don't know how it happened. And it's just such, it's so fascinating to watch. So over time, Klay Thompson's like, man, this is some bullshit. I'm not mad at you, Steph, but I'm not getting the credibility. But I ain't going to say shit because I'm not going to mess up the camaraderie of the team. I'm just going to keep it quiet. And then keep reading.
Players calculate their own importance.
Okay, right there. So now that person's partners and dad and friends is like, hey, that's fucked up that they ain't giving you the spotlight like that. How come you ain't getting that? And you're like, you know what? You're right. That's true, huh? Yeah, like every time I see the cameras walk right past you, it be the people around you feeding you that bullshit. But it's filling your head. It's filling your head. The same way in the Bible, right? Beginning, right? The little snake went to Eve and was like, yo, like, how come you don't have the powers that everybody else have? How come they left you out? And she's like, well, shit, I'm left out? Yeah, you left out. It's power. He's saying you can't eat from this tree? That's the most powerful tree. That's hate. That's hating to me. So now it starts eating away at your soul. If you don't have no mental comebacks for that, it starts eating away at your soul. Now you're thinking about it. You're dreaming about it like, fuck. The FOMO, fear of missing out, kicks in. And you're like, man, I'm not getting mine. All the shit I could be doing if I ate from that tree, I'm glad he gave me that game. Keep reading.
Chests swell, frustrations emerge, egos appear. The innocent climb, Pat Riley says, is almost always followed by the disease of me.
Okay. So now you got the disease of me starting to kick in and form. The disease of me is because now your own ego is giving you a false sense of self-importance. And it starts eating away. Starts eating away at you. You're thinking about it, dreaming about it. Your competitiveness is not tempered. So now that's fueling the fire. Your friends, the outside world, now that's fueling the fire. It's called the disease of me. And then that's when you see those teams start getting into it on the sidelines. Right? They start funking. You see LeBron James and somebody else, they on the same team. They have to be pulled away from each other. Because now everybody's self-importance is about them and not the win, not the greater good, not how can I serve. How can I serve for the win? It's about you. Now the team is fucked up because everybody got diseases. To me, that's one of the most fascinating things about the Warriors championship run, is that they lasted that long without allowing anything to corrupt and overshadow what the win, the goal. They lasted that long because that's pretty unheard of in such an alpha environment called basketball. But they all were willing to put aside their own individual superstar egos for the sake of the win. But that's how teams get corrupted, that disease of me. And you might be on some teams right now that are like that. At work, in your business, at school, whatever. Own self-importance. When I feel that bubbling up in my office, I check that shit quick. Fuck, like what? We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Keep reading.
It can strike any winning team in any year and at any moment, and does with alarming regularity.
Was any lies told? Do y'all know exactly, have y'all been a part of anything like this before? So the winning record starts to decline at this moment. Major mistakes are being made. Because there are some people in a group now that won't perform at peak until they get what they want. Man, I ain't going to even give it my all then until you give me what I want. Shit, fuck that. I'm not even going to play good then. You can't expect me to give you my, So now you're suffering. The team's suffering. The win is suffering. You'll see in basketball, you'll see motherfuckers not even get past two. Best scorer in the game. You wide open. 4 times in a row, I'm not passing it to you because I'm mad at you. You could be hot as fuck. You could have the hottest hand right now. You could have just shot 3, 4, 5 threes in a row. But because I have the disease of me, you could be wide open. Your man could be dead, and I'm just going to look you over and pass it over here. That's the disease of me. Do you have it? Think about it. And just like any disease, you need cure. You need first to be diagnosed. You need to know that you have it. Because before this slide, a lot of us didn't even know that this type of thing existed. They felt it. They've been a part of it. They just couldn't put a name on it. Now you know what it's called. You got the disease of me, motherfucker. That's what you're going to be going around. But that's real. That's how great teams crumble. That's why the Lakers did what they did. That's why the Lakers, that's why a lot of times you put too many superstars on one team and they don't have a great coach to be able to tamper all of those personalities, don't make it. It's easy for me. It's easy to predict. Because it would be a fucking black swan if the team won a championship with hella superstars on a team that just met each other for the first time that year. It doesn't happen. You got to fight. We fighting in practice to see who the alpha is, who's the beta, all the way on down. So as an entrepreneur, it's imperative for you as a leader because you set the tone. If your team has a disease of me type of energy, the whole team, more than likely, is because you got it. And they're feeding off your energy. Period. If your team has a pass the ball mentality, pass first, shoot second mentality, it's probably because of your energy. Those just don't spring up out of thin air. They don't. That's the culture. So as a leader, it's important for you to set the tone. Recognize the culture you have, and you set the tone and switch the energy if need be. And how you do it as a leader, you start by recognizing in public people who do things for the team. Hey, I just want to recognize Shabisha. She did something completely selfless by doing X, Y, and Z and didn't even ask the credit for it. So I'm going to give it to you right now. Everybody, thank you, Shabisha. That starts changing the culture. Stop publicly praising your superstars who drop 40 points, no assists, because they can jump high. Fuck that. Ignore it. Ignore it. Next slide.
It doesn't make you a bad person to want to be remembered, to want to make it to the top, to provide for yourself and your family. After all, that's all part of the allure. There is a harmony.
Right. So again, I don't want to make this a thing about wanting to be remembered or wanting to do great things or big things is bad. No. There's harmony in it. Because it's no way you individually can do great things without working as a collective with a group of people, with others, and making other people feel valuable and exchanging value between others. The two can't coexist. You have to understand the harmony between wanting to be great and helping others be great. It's a correlation between the two. Next slide.
When we lack a connection to anything larger or bigger than us, it's like a piece of our soul is gone.
Okay, let's stop right there. So again, let's talk purpose. There are some people, some entrepreneurs, some business folks that they in it for the money. Why are you doing this? Because they pay good for the money. I'm eating. And I can't be mad at anybody who thinks that way, especially if you come from poverty, like I did. I need the bread. That was when you first come from poverty, you're looking to springboard yourself out of rats and roaches. So you can't be mad. But understand that mentality perpetuated over time, if you don't add purpose to that, then you're going to lose yourself and your soul because you're going to be doing shit for money that you never thought you would have did. Because if money is just a driver, if you don't got purpose, man. And I'm saying this from experience because I got a good heart. Like I don't like doing, like I got a good heart. But when I lived in a space of just getting money, it was some shit that I did for money that was like, fuck, why'd you do that? Like, thinking back later, like, damn, that was stupid. Makes you think about it. poisoning communities and shit like that. Because shit, if I don't do it, somebody else is gonna do it. If I don't sell this, somebody else is gonna sell it. Or shit, my daddy a crackhead, so shit, fuck it. My father being a crackhead gave me permission to create other crackheads in my head. Because I needed the bag, I need the money. But that don't work good with a kid with a good heart, good soul, and like, this shit don't work good. Eat you. So if somebody's like, I gotta get this bag, oh shit, I was making, $300 a week doing DoorDash, but I can make $300 in 5 minutes with an OnlyFans. Well, if that's your choice, get you an OnlyFans then. However, just understand that if that's not your purpose and you're doing it just for the money, then over time you're going to look back and realize your soul gone. And then the shit you end up gradually graduating to will be like, how the fuck did I get here? How did I get here? Shit. How do I get back? How do I get back? And ain't nobody gonna tell you. So there's no judgment in any of it. I'm just saying being purpose driven, meaning focusing on why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I here for? Allows you to stand fully in your power and move from a place of integrity. You got to connect. Here's the second reason why. When you connect with your purpose, when that money comes, it allows you to strengthen your self-disciplines. Purpose strengthens discipline. Because there were certain things about me based on just how I grew up, wild in a motherfucker, and things that I watched that literally there's no morality in a lot of things that I grew up around in my family. When I found my purpose, there was things that made me feel like be super square, which I needed to be. Religion couldn't even do it. Religion wasn't strong enough to get me to stop doing certain things. But once I found a purpose, there were certain things that I could say no to now. Be like, no, I ain't doing that. No, I ain't doing that. Because purpose is the strongest thing that you can have. That's almost a direct link between you and your higher self, or you and your creator, you and God, you and the universe, whatever you want to call that thing. But there's no middleman. Religion, you got a middleman. And it's a good middleman to a lot of things and a lot of people, but I'm saying it's still a middleman. You got to go through Jesus Christ, which is powerful in itself, yes. You got to go through Muhammad or Krishna or whoever, all the deities that are the middle man between God and earth. But your purpose is your direct connection. What am I here for? Why am I here? Man, that's the realest shit I ever wrote. I'm just going to ignore what Josh just said. To understand what purpose really is. We have a tendency to blow some shit out, meaning we have a tendency to like overuse some shit and kill it. And once it stops being a popular word, then it just disappears. So I remember when the word universe came, it came in the game, and oh my God, like everybody started using that shit. Oh, peace be unto you, Queen. You let the universe help you. Man, what the fuck? Where did you learn this bullshit at? Who taught you this shit? And it just became like a wave. Everybody was using the word universe. And queen and king and grand rising and fucking, what the fuck are you talking about? And then soon as it got oversaturated, they jump on to the next keyword. The problem is, Some of these things within themselves, if you study them, powerful. So the word purpose was another one of those key buzzwords that came in and came out. But you never, ever, ever, ever stop living in your purpose or looking for it or finding it. Never. Because that's why you're here. That's why you're here. That's your uniqueness. You're a black swan off top based on your purpose. If you don't know your purpose, then you're in the bell curve with everybody else in this crowded ass room, waiting to be shoved to the left or to the right like a sheep because you don't know your purpose. Shove to the right, shove to the left. Okay, let's prepare you for the working world. Raise your hand if you want to talk. If you got to go potty, you got to ask. You got to do this. You hungry, you wait till 12 o'clock, till lunchtime. You clock in and clock. We teaching you to be employees. Why? Because you don't know your purpose. Once you find your purpose, you ain't gonna clock back in no more. Not internally. You're not clocking in no more. Even if you do have a job or you're in the corporate world, people will be standing by jealous as fuck because you're gonna appear like you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. How come she gets to come in and how come she gets that pay rate? How come she get the parking lot right, the parking space right there? How come she gets to go meet with the CEO? How come they asking her for advice? How come she gets to go on a trip and use the plane? How come? Baby, I'm playing a purpose game. You playing you a sheep. You in a herd. You got this job because of the money and the benefits. I need the benefits. I need the benefits. You know why that shit is hella funny to me? I need the benefits is the job is saying they're going to partially pay for your health care and the health care of your children so that you can stay healthy to work for them. Wait, what? And people run to jobs for those benefits. Now, again, I'm not hating on it. I'm keeping this shit 100. We're not in a bell curve, y'all. We on a long tail. So we talking long tail talk, wolf talk. That's the real shit. That's selling, that's stealing from you and selling it back to you. That's really what that is. Our brains are wired to want to be taken care of. So, man, those benefits sound good. Instead of me paying the $500, $600, $700 a month, I'm going to split it with you because they take money out your check too for the benefits. That's the other cold part. If it's $700, I'm going to pay $350 and you going to pay $350 to keep you healthy to work for me. Understand that. Let's keep reading.
Like we've detached ourselves from the traditions we hail from, whatever that happens to be, a craft, a sport, a brotherhood or sisterhood, a family. Ego blocks us from the beauty and history in the world. It stands in the way.
Okay. Let's keep reading.
No wonder we find success empty. No wonder we're exhausted. No wonder it feels like we're on a treadmill. No wonder we lose touch with the energy that once fueled us.
All right. So this slide I get emotional every time I get to this slide when I was studying for this. Oh, fuck, it's weird. Weirdest thing ever. I think the part that made me emotional is I recreate it. It reminds me of the first day I got depressed after I got the money. it puts me back in that time, is I felt bamboozled. I felt like this whole world, this whole game of life was a lie. And I worked so hard to get out the ghetto. I worked so hard to get out the hood. I worked so hard, blood, sweat, and tears to get my mama out the hood, to get her a house, and to make a big life for myself, thinking that that was where happiness was. That was a missing piece of my life, is once I get money, my happiness puzzle is complete. And now I'm in my own paradise. And I remember I'm sitting in the Oakland Hills, everything I want, house crazy, cars crazy, clothes, everything, all this shit. And I remember the first day I got this wave of depression. And I straight cried. Got this gorgeous wife, 2 beautiful kids, all the shit that I dreamed about, that I thought that would put me in a space of happiness, and I was depressed as fuck. And I cried, 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 and I questioned, I asked God what was up. Maybe God, something's wrong with me mentally, God. Maybe something's wrong with me mentally. Maybe I got a disorder or something. Not realizing that it goes back to the yellow part of this slide. How can I be happy when I ain't got no soul? How? And this is a forewarning to you, because God willing, I want you to get that, to get your success, get your money, hundreds of thousands, millions, or whatever it is. But understand, that shit is not gonna make you happy. None of it is gonna make you happy. None of it is gonna make you happy. Money is a magnifier. Remember that. Money is a magnifier. It only magnifies what you are. So if I was slightly depressed and didn't know it and was getting quick hits because of buying shit, but I had this depression underneath, money magnified and brought my depression to the surface. If I was hella happy and I loved myself, the love gets magnified and brings it out. If I was hella giving and a contributor to society, the money would have magnified that contribution. So remember, whenever it hits you, whenever you get it, it's going to start the magnification immediately. So that's why the other slides was to prepare you mentally. Start working on your shit now. If you find yourself hella rude at restaurants to waiters and people that you think that are beneath you, God help you when you get that money. If you can't treat the janitors with the same honor, respect, and courtesy and dignity as a CEO, then it's highly likely that when you get your bag, you're going to feel empty. And you're going to look to Instagram, social media to try to get more hits with money fans and shit. Gucci belts and money fans. And standing in front of cars and this and that and all these trips to try to get hits of saying to people, I want to be just like you. To remind your soul that you got something good. I wish I had. So you all you attract is you before the money. Versions of you before the money. That's who you're attracting. So all the people that's liking and subscribing to all that shit are people who don't know that money can't buy them happiness, and they think it can. So you just perpetuating the lie. So the goal, be happy. Learn to be happy. Know yourself. I went through this stage, this spiritual journey stage, where I studied all these religions, all these spiritual dogmas, all these spiritual teachings, different spiritual cultures, and I went hard. The same way I went hard, go harder than anything else. So I went fucking hard. And I would try anything, literally. This is a new thing. You could talk to God. Oh, you put toad venom in. You drink some toad venom. All right, cool. Ayahuasca, fucking try it. 5 times. I did it 5 times. Anything from on my spiritual path that I was like, oh, there's gurus and teachers and things that can help me grow. I'm gonna try it. So one of the things, I was on this Egyptian hype for a second, about ancient Egypt, finding out about Egypt and this and that and the emerald tablets, right? Emerald tablets is what the ancient kings wrote, and it was secret, it was hidden, it was only allowed for other seers and prophets to read it in ancient Egypt. So I'm doing all this research trying to find the tablets to see what's in it. Fucking found it. Emerald tablet. Okay. It's the first. And it was like, I forget how many. It was 7, I think, maybe 7 rules, 7 things in the Emerald tablet. Step number 1. You know what it said? Know thyself. What? Know thyself? It said know thyself. So you mean tell me 10,000 years ago, they were teaching to know thyself as the number 1 thing at the top? It ain't no different now. You got to know yourself. Know yourself, grow yourself, love yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. Next slide says, on your ascent, seek always to humble yourself. Again, one of the things that I rocked with Genghis Khan about, one of his best traits was his humility. You don't understand the magnitude of what he did. The Western culture, Rome, had pretty much owned most of the known world of that time. There was no America yet. They didn't discover it. So North and South America didn't even exist in their head because they hadn't discovered it in 1200. It was basically from Russia to Asia. And Genghis Khan managed to rule from China to Russia. That's the size of Africa right now, and Africa's the largest continent. All from a little village, little village hut that he started. How? One of his tools that he preached at all times was stay humble. Never let any of this shit get to your head. Your humility shows your capacity. Period. The minute your pride gets to a point to where your ego is out of control or your pride is over, you capped out financially. That's it. You've reached your ascend and now you're on your descend. Somebody prove me wrong. You can't. Anytime I see somebody at a highly egoic space, I don't care how successful they are, I know they're at their peak. They're at the peak of their mountain and they started their descend. Because the toxicity in that environment is too strong and the momentum of that toxicity grows too fast for there to be any more growth. That's why in ancient history, anybody who's done great things, built great empires, got killed and replaced. Julius Caesar built the Roman Empire. They killed that motherfucker because his ego was out of control. He called himself God. He did an amazing thing, but he could not temper his ego. So in order to continue the Roman Empire, they shanked his ass up. Think about all major empires. Steve Jobs, they did the equivalent of that to him in his own company. He built this monumental business. As soon as his ego hit the peak of his extent, guess what they did? Shanked his ass up. Get up out of here. Fired him from his own company. Uber, he disrupted the industry. Changed the game. Changed the world. Ego got the best of him. Guess what happened when his ego got out of control? They shanked his ass up and fired him from his own company. I can keep going. Because there's no judgment, because none of us have been a part of anything that's life-changing and global. So that shit, who knows, it can happen to anybody, any one of us in this room. All of a sudden, you're a mega star. You have anything you want at any moment. Billionaire, multi-billionaire. It's hard to prepare for that. But now you guys see it now, right? You have a clearer vision about how you see it a little clearer. Alexander the Great. Moses. In the Bible, Moses couldn't even get to his own, couldn't even be there with his people. So it just shows the humanness of the thing. And it takes a very conscious person to keep their humility intact. As long as you stay low, sky's the limit for what you have going. As long as you stay humble, sky is the limit. Because that gives you a open welcome for new information, for new learning, for things to come in, for you to grow, because you're humble to it. The minute you stop being humble, you close the doors for growth. You're on your descent. It's inevitable. Your company can't grow unless you get fired. Or the equivalent of shanking your ass and getting you up out of there. Where's the lie at? It's real. This is your this is that pep talk before the ascend for you. Some of y'all ain't off the ground yet because of your ego. Not because of your brilliance. Not because of your intelligence. Not because of your talent. Because of your ego. Everything you do in your business is centered around you and not them. Why the fuck you standing here then? Go home and do this shit in the comforts of your own home, because you sure ain't here for me. I'm blessing you with my presence. No, you're hyping your ego up. So stay low, y'all. What can I do to get better? I'm hella awkward with any commendation. I'm hella awkward because I don't know even what to think or how to think. I don't even know how to process it. Well, how can I get better? I'm not where I want to be. How can I get better? What don't you like about it? What can I do to get better? Yeah, you bought, but how come you didn't buy? What didn't you like about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, humility is key. Next slide. Oh, I got you. Sorry. Stay sober, my friends, is what it says. Stay sober. Don't get drunk in your own power. Don't get drunk and caught up in your power, caught partying and swimming around in your park. Stay sober. Those are actually Genghis Khan's exact words. Stay sober. Why did he use sober? Out of the words you could use in the English language or in language period, you chose sober. Think about that. The opposite, the antithesis of being sober, being drunk. When you're drunk, everything's impaired. Your vision, your hearing, your motor skills, and everything feels good. And guess what? You got more confidence. Everything's a party. It's a good time. Now I can go up to the pretty girl that I was lightweight afraid of, and now I can shoot my shot because I'm drunk. Everything's a party. Guess what happened? Guess what happened to Babylon? Ancient Babylon was like America. They built Babylon, and it was a big city that had generated currency, and it was a capitalistic society, and it was the superpower at the time. And they built walls around it. Huge, high walls around it. It was impenetrable. You couldn't even get in without being let in. So people who try to come in and they couldn't even fuck with them, period. Like, it's not going to happen. And once you got in the walls, it was like one big-ass New York. And you got to generate revenue from your own hustle, make your own money, build your own business, everything. How did the Assyrians destroy Babylon? Every year, they would have this huge party, and they all would get drunk as fuck. Drunk as fuck. So the Assyrians waited for that party and went to the river that went through the city, because that's the only thing that can get is one river. They dammed that river the night they all got drunk and just walked in and killed them with no resistance. They didn't even put up a fight because they was drunk as fuck. That's why stay sober. When you sober, your eyes are on swivel. You're at the top of your game. When I was y'all age in the 20s and shit, and I used to go to all the clubs, hood-ass clubs in Oakland, mingles and all that shit, I drank at home. When I was at the club, I'm sober as hell because my eyes are on a swivel. I'm buying y'all drinks. I'm buying her drinks, but I'm not drinking because if some shit pop off, I need to be sober. I have the advantage as soon as I walk in that club just by being sober. So if for some reason I gotta knock your ass out, I'm at an advantage. I'm not drunk. You lightweight are. Sobriety, you'll be surprised, is rare in a lot of circles. Because a lot of people are suffering from depression, so they need something to mask the pain. So as an entrepreneur, you automatically have an advantage if you're sober. Just off top. That's free game. Next slide.
Failure. Your first products may flop, bomb, fail. Your second business may get hijacked. You may lose out on the opportunity you feel everything depends on. This might happen tomorrow. It might happen 25 years from now. It could last for 2 minutes or 10 years. We know that everyone experiences failure and adversity. The difference is in your beliefs around failure.
If ego is high, failure is a motherfucker. It's devastating. Because you're so focused on the outside perception of the world that your behavior is contingent upon outside reassurance. So failure is nasty to you. And if I'm starting to steal it, here it comes. If you are institutionalized by corporate America in school and college, then they've taught you that a F is bad. A F though? You got an F? That means your grade point average is 0. You can't get into a good school. You can't live in this in the working world failing. Mistakes will cost you. So if you get a job and you make a mistake, what happens when you make a mistake? You get written up. You get written up. You a grown-ass person. And you got written up. How many write-ups equal firing? So it's not our fault. We're programmed over time to maneuver in the space. Anybody can be trained. It's not any of us' fault. Anybody can be trained over time with carrot and a stick, with pleasure and pain to operate within this system. But just know that we're incarcerated. I mean, institutionalized. Institutionalized. And you can't, think about this. I told this is a true story about circus elephants, back when the circus was a thing. If you ever wonder why circus elephants could be tamed by this human that they could swallow accidentally, elephants have so much power. In the wild, lions don't fuck with elephants like that, unless one is sick or hurt. But how can this skinny human tame this elephant? It's because when the elephant is a baby, it's first born, they cement a wooden stump to the ground. They cement a stump and they tie a rope around the neck of the baby elephant to that stump. And that baby elephant fights like a motherfucker. Yanks and yanks and fights and yanks and yanks and fights for days. For days, for weeks. But eventually, that baby elephant quits. And the minute it quits, that elephant will grow into the full-grown giant elephant, and you can tie it to that stump and it'll never fight. It'll never fight you. It's been institutionalized. So have we. That's why those ideas about that food desert, they're institutionalized ideas. But our beliefs around failure are institutionalized too. I was fortunate growing up. I was an F kid from the gate. I was an F kid starting in 7th grade. So I got comfortable with the Fs. Then they put me in the remedial classes, in the classes for the slow kids, the yellow bus kids. I was a yellow bus kid. We walked to the next class together and shit. Or 3rd, 4th, and 5th period was in one class. We didn't have to move. Think I'm playing. Because I was such an at-risk kid, slow class kid, that's what I was on that. So Fs and shit, so what? So the fortunate thing about that is you can't institutionalize me. You can't make fun of me. You can't laugh at me. Like, They don't give a fuck about that. That's some of the problem with some of us who are the good grade kids. You guys are more detrimental to being successful entrepreneurs than the fuck ups. Because your success and your pats on the back and your approval and money that you got from your parents and family members and all came from being in the system. You get all A's, you get money. I give you $100 for an A, $50 for a B. So you're being trained. You're being tied to that stump. Internally, you know you want to be free. You want to do more, be more. But now you're slowly being tied to that stump. So once they let the stump go, you move out of the house at 18, 19, 20, whenever you moved out, you still moving in that same rhythm. In the same rhythm. So you're like the elephant. Fucking your capacity and your potential is incredible, giant like the elephant. And you let some skinny little minuscule human tell you what to do. I'm going to leave right now. I just hurt my heart a little bit. Tell me if I'm lying. It's real, though. It's real. So, back to failure. Entrepreneurs, failure is learning. What can I learn? What did I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Failure ain't shit. Failure is good. What can I learn? I know one way how not to do it now. I know one way how not to do it. I know 2 ways. I know 3 ways. I know 10 ways. I know 15 ways. I know 20 ways. I don't care how many ways I know not to do it as long as I don't repeat any of them ways. I'm mad at myself if I say, I know 15 ways. I know 16 ways. Oh, that's way number 2. And I did this shit again. Fuck, I just wasted my time. That's when I'm pissed. Other than that, do you know that they're laughing at you right now because you're fucking up? Are they? Let me give them something to laugh at. They don't do shit for me. Fortunately, because I've been laughed at so much. So I say this to the ones who did good in school or got accolades or got degrees or got all those things. Be careful. No, not even be careful. I almost want to bet that that's one of the influences that's holding you back because of this fear of failure. Fail, y'all. Fail. Stop just sitting in this class and listening. Try the shit. Fail at it. Get it. Fail. Try it again. Fail again. Try it again. If you came in, like, it's hard to, right now we have a system, right? So it's hard to see. But early on, you see the building of this Courtsmith shit or any business is just full of failures. Not knowing what the fuck to do, mistakes, messing up, trials, errors, mistakes, messing up, half systems, things that aren't fully put together yet, but we're working on it, or I can't get to it yet, so we just got to deal with it for now. That's the game. Jordan works at Courtsmith, came in as a salesperson. Man, we didn't have, shit wasn't set up fully. All over the place. How do I get customers? Shit, where's that list at? Fuck, I can't find that list. Hold on, let me look for it. Damn it, I can't find it. Let me look for the list again. I forgot, I got sidetracked because I got all this other million shit going on. I didn't even find the list. Guess what? He just started looking up shit on his own. That's how you build some shit. Next thing you know, motherfuckers knocking down deals. That's how you build shit. It's not perfect. It's full of failures. Full of failures. But you gotta, professionals, people in the wild, automatically are comfortable with that. Again, I say this every class. We love Steph Curry, right? Everybody loves Steph Curry. He's a lovable dude, and he's a three-point assassin, right? Do you know Steph Curry misses 60% of the time every year? 60. We love Steph Curry so much, we only focus on when it goes in. We don't realize he's failing more than he's succeeding. You don't get in business to be perfect. You get in business to go after it. And your successes, maybe it's 20, 30% of what you do succeeds. The goal is that 20 to 30% is going to overshadow all your losses. That's the goal. And then over time, you fine-tune your losses. You fine-tune your business and maximize your gains and your winning and improving. Failure. We don't even look at failure. We don't even trip on failure. At all. I think that's why some of you guys be so hurt when you come to us and you tell us your problem and it's a failure that's devastating to you, and we don't give you the response that you think we should give you. Like, oh, I lost everything. I'm losing everything, and my business is going. And we say, cool, good. Damn, you're in a good space. What? Good job. Good fucking job. All right, so keep going. Try it again, actually. Do that again. And you wanted us to say, here's the magic solution, my child, to get you out of that. No, motherfucker, no. Because we know failure is part of it. Failure is part of it. Failure is part of the success. Failure is part of it. Embrace that shit. Love it. Learn from it. If you're going to fail, fail big. Make that shit big. Fuck it up. All the way up.
It's the no motherfucking no for me. I just wanted to say that. Kaja asked, how do you manage fear of failure when your money is involved as an investment? A failure with the price tag attached can be a big setback because resources are limited. And she said, right now, I'm operating on scared money don't make money, but I'm also trying to be fiscally smart as well and avoid as much failure as possible as to not just be wasting money.
Okay, so ego says that if you got a big idea, it's gonna win. This is gonna win. So I gotta bet it all. Because your ego says this is the big break, this is the big thing, you're gonna make it big. So you're gonna bet it all. That's what ego tells you. There is no magic formula. Don't be stupid with your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put yourself in a position where you're going to lose everything based on that concept of scared money don't make money. It's a myth. That's a myth. Be smart. Take risk. Take a portion or percentage of your money or operating expenses that you are using to invest in your business and rock with it. And if it fails, it fails. See, a lot of us are playing this all or nothing game when it comes to entrepreneurship. We're saying, no, we may have played it in the past, but there's much smarter ways. If you build your business small while you have a job, and you build your business to where it's starting to generate revenue for you, then you can grow your business over time and then quit your job. If you think you got to jump off a job cliff and invest all your money into some big idea so it pops, that's a fucking Willy Wonka mentality that we're raised on. The smart way to do it is, why are you even in fear? Don't even be afraid. If you lose that chunk of money, you have your operating expenses, you have your life that you're operating, and now you're taking chunks of money to invest in. That's the fun part. If you lose it, you still get to live. You good. But you learn something, and you try again, and you keep trying, and you keep trying, and you keep trying until you find a better formula. But living in scarcity, you for sure. Well, when you get to tunneling from the scarcity, you for sure ain't gonna make no money. Scarcity, it's gonna be tough for you to grow your business.
Can I add a little bit to that?
But yeah, but you're playing with build your business with house money.
Hey, can you ask that question one more time? Because I think she said a key word.
So she says, how do you manage fear of failure when your money is involved as an investment? A failure with a price tag attached can be a big setback because resources are limited. Right now, I'm operating on scared money don't make money, but I'm also trying to be fiscally smart as well and avoid as much failure as possible as to not be just wasting money.
To add to what Court was saying, when you grow, money is not limited. Money is replenishable. You have to see money as being replenishable. Mm-hmm. If you start to think about money being limited, you're not really investing, right? You're spending. There's a difference between spending and investing. And so, for example, in business, anything you spend money on in your business, first of all, business has the highest rate of return, more than the stock market. So anytime when you hire an employee, you didn't spend money on an employee, you invested in an employee to increase the amount of money you're bringing in, right? When you buy a new vehicle for your business, or you buy a new product or service, or when you're in, like what Court did, he did some upgrades to his products by spending money for new clothing, he went and found a new manufacturer, all that kind of stuff. Those are investments, right? You got to get used to that. Life is not about total life in itself is about investing in yourself, in your business, and life is an investment. If you don't make those investments, you don't get a return. And in those investments, the goal is to be smart, but also don't punish yourself when things outside your control happen, or you learn from the mistake, which is a failure. That goes back to that's the 360 what he's been teaching tonight. You will have failures in this game, but the failures you only gain a lesson from it if you practice radical responsibility, which is what could I have done different. If you go into the blame game and they and them and he and she and the customer, they don't really realize what I did for them, then the failure, you didn't learn anything. You just threw money away. So life is an investment, period. Every book you read is a return. If you're reading books about Scooby-Doo and your life is fucked up, well, look at your investment, right? It's like at the end of the day, everything is an investment. And stop looking at life as a spending. Because when you start seeing it spending, then your scarcity is going to kick in, and it's going to feel like, oh, you're going to try not to lose. Investments, you do lose. Every book you read was not going to give a return on your investment. Every person that you smile and help won't come back and show up for you. You got to be willing to accept that the investments, a certain percentage, is not going to give you a return. So it's like Steph Curry, he gave you all the game here. Steph Curry he works out every day to miss 60% of his shots. He misses his family. He sacrifices time away from his family every week to miss 60% of his shots just to gain that 40%, and that 40% has a high enough return to improve the quality of his life. That's how the investment works. It's not a 1-for-1 ratio. It's not this binary threshold or good or bad. It's a much more complex way of thinking. And so in order for you to free yourself, you got to start to see that investments by default is a risk factor, that you're playing the percentage game, not the 1-for-1 investment.
That was dope. Let's go next slide.
Are you on dead time or alive time? Maybe you're sitting in a remedial high school class. Maybe you're on hold. Maybe it's a trial separation. Maybe you're making smoothies while you save up money. Maybe you're stuck waiting out a contract or a tour of duty. Maybe the situation is one totally of your own making, or perhaps it's just bad luck. In life, we all get stuck with dead time. Its occurrence isn't in our control. Its use, on the other hand, is.
So this is a cold slide. So please look at the context of this slide and see if you can extract the game in it. Dead time and alive time. Everybody's in a different place in their life. Some of us may be stuck in these occurrences where there's no moves in our head to be made. Maybe you're stuck at a job and you don't have any business ideas and you have to pay the bills. You're stuck. You got to pay the bills, so you got to go here and do this. But don't just stay there stuck. There's no window that's going to come save you later. You have to create the window within the dead time. So you got to turn all dead time into a live time. One example, I'm rock bottom. So the first thing I did past rock bottom is I start working at a cannabis thing, trimming weed. So I would trim pounds of weed all day. That's all I did. You sit there and you cut, and you cut, you trim, and you cut, you cut, cut. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours later, you go give the guy the shit you cut, he weighs it, and then you walk out and you show up the next day doing the same thing. Every fucking day. Now, everybody got their ear pods on, their headphones, all that shit, slapping music, doing their shit, or just telling stories to each other about how hard they was and when they was in the hood and how big D-boys they was. You know what I did? I'll start popping in audiobooks. Meaning I can listen to a whole audiobook in one day. One day. So for the 6, 7, 8 months I was there, you know how much game I soaked up? Wait, what'd y'all say? Oh, yes, yep, you was hella hard, yep, you was running the block. Back to my audiobook. Motherfuckers thought I was listening to whatever, Too Short, whatever. I was knocking down an audiobook every day. Ones that I read before, ones reiterating or listening to it 3, 4, 5 times so I can burn it into my memory because I'm thinking, I am never coming back here ever again. Fuck this shit. Ever. Never. So please, God, let these words soak into my soul. Because this shit, I ain't doing again. I was EBT card to trimming weed. And guess what? 8 months later, I'm out of there. On a different frequency. On a different frequency. So that's turning your dead time to a live time. If you stuck at a bullshit ass job, can you do that job with 20% of yourself and do 80% of something else? Or can you look at what you can learn and extract from that job just by looking at it differently? So this is a superpower. This slide right here is a superpower. This is the difference when they say, well, there's 24, millionaires and poor people got the same 24 hours, right? Billionaires and poor people got the same 24 hours. And yes, that's true. But poor people have way more dead time. Millionaires and billionaires got way more alive time. Even in your dreams, if you're using your dead time, turn it into a live time, when you're dreaming, you're solving problems about the game that you learned that day and how you can apply it in your life. Versus scrolling on fucking TikTok, scrolling on Instagram, seeing more of this, seeing more of that. 2-3 hours pass hella quick, don't it? Hella quick. What the fuck? It was just 1 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Dead time. Oh, well, let me go check this. World Star Hip Hop. Let's go check this one. All day passed. You at your job. Got your shit done, but you spent all that extra time, dead time, because you didn't gain nothing. Once you adopt this mentality that I can't waste a second. I don't like where I'm at. Where the situation I'm in life, I don't fucking like it. If you love your job and you enjoy it, that's different. But if you ain't where you want to be, and in between those times where you ain't got shit to do, you just letting the time be dead, that's the difference between you and somebody who's looks like they're going 300 miles an hour. I grew up with that person. I went to high school with him. I went to high school with her. She a millionaire? You do not know. Even the Cardi B's in life and the people who you think use their body to get where they at and get popular, a lot of people got bodies. You don't know what they were doing in their dead time. You have no clue. And they may have been grinding their ass off. They may have been the equivalent of what I was doing. My ear pods, I look just like everybody else, but what I'm listening to, what I'm feeding myself, is getting me the fuck up out of there. So take your dead time and strategize to do something productive with it. Productive with it. And I am not going to even take this bullshit ass job. I'm not even going to treat it like a bullshit ass job. I'm still going to give this job everything I got like I love it. Because that's going to keep my habits and my own personal self-discipline at a certain level so that there's no fall off. We're like, I'm gonna wait to give my all to something I like. No. I'm here for a reason. So I'm gonna treat this shit like it's mine. So I became the rawest motherfucking trimmer in that building. I'm doubling motherfuckers. Doubling time, doubling quantities. Because I'm not doing it for this job. I'm doing it for my next venture. I'm doing it so my body and my mind doesn't get lazy ever to think I can fall back or chill or relax. Never. If it was McDonald's, those fries will be fucking golden and crispy as fuck. Perfectly aligned in that box. Because I'm practicing for my greatness, not for this job is just part of the journey. But I'm an advance. I want to be an advancing human. So those fries, that burger, whatever it is going to be perfect. So don't look at dead time while I'm in this fucked up bullshit ass situation, job. No, practice. Practice being great. And you'll be surprised the amazing things that can come, the opportunities that can come from that.
It's fucking amazing, by the way. Sorry, I was like, anyway, the part about practicing being great, and if you're in something that you don't really want to do, but it's about how you're thinking about it and how you're showing up to it, and because you're practicing being great, and it has nothing to do with that shit is crazy.
I'm a concur. That shit is fire.
Man, I was like,
I love this slide.
oh shit, the fries. Yeah, that is, like, why would I be in a rhythm of practicing mediocrity?
What? Dead time versus live time?
Man.
Come on, man.
Man.
Go ahead, Court.
What?
Man, that's fucking crazy. Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Gee whiz. Okay. Julia has a question. Jeez. Julia said, can you get overwhelmed by your purpose?
No. You can never be overwhelmed by your purpose. Never. Because purpose inherently as an energy is a long game energy. There's no expectation for you to get it right today. There's also an expectation for you to even get it right in your lifetime. The expectation is for you to live in it. And if you die in your purpose, that was a good job. Because somebody else is going to carry that baton and take it to the next level. But purpose doesn't ever feel overwhelming. Competition and comparison does. So if you say have all these bullshit milestones that are attached to an age, I'm going to be married by this age. I'm going to have a kid by this age. I'm going to be a millionaire by this age. I'm going to be by this age. When those times get close and you ain't there yet, that gets overwhelming. Comparing yourself to the next human who may have achieved it, that gets overwhelming. But your purpose, like, that's one of the most beautiful, calming feelings.
Can I
Go
jump
ahead.
in real quick? I just wanted to say that because I think I had this conversation a few years ago. I think I asked the same question, and like what I got through the process, even though I'm still going through it. I think a lot of times people confuse passion and purpose like they're interchangeable, and they're not. And I think when you get very passionate about something that is attached to your purpose, but you lose sight of that, it's very easy to get overwhelmed by your passion because you'll take larger steps and risks that are not calculated that will take you into waters that you're not ready to navigate. But when you get that compass back going and you find your North Star, you'll always find the peace in that storm because that's the anchor that's keeping you going.
Yeah.
I just want to say this slide is amazing.
I'm still fucked up behind the, I can't get off of it.
I can't. This is. Hey, we need a tattoos. We need to put this on a wall or something. The way you pull this one out, Court, I'm in love with this moment. Because I see this all the time. Like you're not. This is not. I know it's simple, and some of y'all might just be like, oh yeah. This is everywhere. Dead time versus alive time, and then how you show up to the moment reflects you. It's about how you show up in that space. I don't think y'all understand. Like this is one. I need y'all to like really digest it. Don't just listen to what he's saying, but like sit with this one for a minute because this is deeper fire than you understand. Like many people are underperforming in life as a whole, so when they even break out on their own, nobody gonna fuck with you, right? You suck in the way everything you show up to. You don't see a certain level of how you're supposed to show up at all time. And then I think the question on purpose, in all fairness to everybody in this room, we're purposeless people. And that's dangerous. We forget, step further back, like what is the main purpose of human beings? To procreate. Let's keep it simple. That's what the main purpose of human beings is, procreate. Your whole body and brain is designed to procreate, right? But we get lost because now we're like, well, what is a man? What is a woman? Maybe he is a man. Okay, we're here to procreate. That's at the basis. Now, other things can branch off in the real world that we live in. The world's it's not binary, but we are animals here to procreate. But also, everything that we have around us is because somebody had a purpose before us. It's your turn to make your investment. And when you don't have a purpose, you're a human being that's exploiting your existence. You're taking God's existence. You're taking your whole life for granted. You're here to lay the ground foundation for the children to come after you. You're not here just to cut down trees and eat fruits and then say, fuck whatever happens after me. Right? But in a society where individualism is preached, over-preached, and preached out of context, we're only thinking about ourselves and we're not realizing that we're here to serve others. And so when you start a business, if you don't get that, you suck. That's the whole purpose of business, is serving other people. And by serving other people, you become served. But so at the end of the day, purpose is a necessary module for that to even work correctly. That's like trying to have a vehicle without an engine. Purpose is your engine. You can't go nowhere without fucking purpose. Yep. This class is on fire. Yep. Hey man, look here, y'all need to send up some love and hearts and everything to Court. Go give him all kind of likes tonight.
Where the Cash App at?
You know what I'm saying? This he bringing heat tonight.
Cash
I'm over here sweating and it's cold in here.
Cash App. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
All right. Hard things are broken by hard things. Hey. What, Shakina? We surround ourselves with, with bullshit. Why are you laughing at me? We surround ourselves with bullshit, with distractions, with lies about what makes us happy and what's important. We become people we shouldn't become and engage in destructive, awful behaviors. This unhealthy and ego-driven state hardens and becomes almost permanent. Until katabasis, what is that word? I know a lot of words. Until katabasis forces us to face it.
You can skip that. That's
Okay,
some French
okay.
shit.
The bigger the ego, the harder the fall. It would be nice if it didn't have to be that way. If we could nicely be nudged to correct our ways. If a quiet admonishment was what it took to shoo away illusions. If we could manage to circumvent ego on our own. But it is just not so.
So this is another one that got me a little in my feelings, because anytime there's an event that has a high level of emotion attached to it, you never forget it. So when you ride past it again or go past it again, those emotions come up. It's just the truth. I remember I was dropping my nephew off at my sister's house. I'm coming home from Richmond, get T-boned. Bang, I hit the side of the wall and I spin and I hit the other side of the wall. Nasty accident. So for like a year, every time I drive from Hercules or whatever to Oakland, every time I get to that close to that spot, my body feels weird, right? Because that event, that emotional event. And over time, when you prove to your body that everything is cool, then it starts dying down and then it disappears. Like, nope, see, I drove past it again, nothing happened. I drove past it again and nothing happened. You just keep doing that to where you force it forces the groove in that event back to on a smooth plane. Say that to say, if we're living in our ego and we've gotten to a space to where we out of control and can't nobody tell us shit, I'm sorry to say that it's going to be some hard shit that happens to you to get you to change, and it's going to hurt like fuck. Because the only thing that can fix a hard thing is another hard thing. And I'm sorry if you in that space, oh God, because I've been there and that shit almost killed me. Because my head was so hard, couldn't nobody tell me shit. So it took losing everything. That's how hard my head was. I could have lost a little bit and been like, oh, shit, let me get myself back in shape, shit. I could have lost a little more and be like, all right, fuck. All right, I'm losing this house, this rental property, but let me get back in line. Oh, I'm losing the second rental property, but let me get my shit together. I had to lose everything. Money, my family, marriage, the whole shit. Because none of the other shit prior to that was enough. And here's the thing. Once you get to the momentum of the crash, it ain't no brakes you can pull. God ain't coming. None of that shit. You got to hit the ground. Because the momentum, you're not going to stop in midair. That doesn't work. And that's not universal law. It's not how gravity works. So you got to be like, fuck, okay, well, shit. Have I hit the ground yet? I'm not sure. Can this shit get worse? But that's from your doing. Because understand, your head was so hard from the beginning. We talked you up. We talked about this whole time. On your ascend, be humble. The innocent climb, the disease of me. So you made that innocent climb. You built some shit. You got money coming in. You got popularity, some power. The disease of me start creeping in. You didn't really pay attention to it. Matter of fact, you were the disease. Then it expanded, and now it corrupted so much. The disease spread so far. There's nobody you can call that could fix the shit real quick. Now that shit hurts. And just thinking about it, I get like, oh shit. Woo, shit. So the bigger the ego, the harder the fall. Period. What I respect about my daughter's mom a lot. She's a fucking incredible, brilliant human being. Brilliant. Ego like a motherfucker, right? I'm gonna quit my job. Start my own shit. No, don't do it. Don't do it. You ain't you ain't ready. Start small. Start small, quit. A year later, went back to work. Okay, fuck it. I realize, all right, no, let's get back to work. And let me run it while I got a job and benefits and all those things. So ego's there, but also quick to make a pivot, a humility pivot. Let's make it. That's important. Now the fall ain't hard. If you stubborn, like, I gotta make this work, I'm gonna make it work, I'm determined to make it work. Shit falling apart everywhere around you. But that ego, your head is hard. So, hard things are broken by hard things. That's it. And that shit hurts like a hard thing. Next slide. What happens at rock bottom? What happens at rock bottom? If your ego is still in place at the time, you're playing a blame game. It's everybody's fault. Everybody's fault. It's everybody's fault. It's her fault, his fault, that fault. Everybody's fault. All you're doing is extending your time. Well, you're going to be here another 6 months, 2 months. Extending your time some more. You know how long my time was at the bottom? 4 years. 4 years. 4 years. So, blame game, quick licks, hustling. I need to get back on top where I was. No pacing myself. I need to get back on top. I can't be seen like this. I'm a boss. I'm a true boss. I can't be looking like this. So let me find all the shortcuts. Let me come up with quick business ideas. Wasn't until I shut the fuck up and realized where I was that I fucked up. That's the first step. Man, I botched this whole shit. All this is because of me. All this is because of me. I didn't listen, my ego, all this is because of me. You want to shorten your time at rock bottom. Second thing, what can I learn from this? That's the magic question. To start your ascend from that rock bottom. What can I learn from this? Because that's all you're there for, is the lesson. What can I learn from this? What can I learn? What can I learn from this? Once you start tallying lessons about what you went through, you'll see magic little steps appear. Up 3 steps, 4 steps. If you keep being in these fucked up relationships, picking these women or men who are toxic as fuck, you got to point at yourself. What am I doing to attract these people? A, what can I learn from the last one? If you don't learn the lessons because it's everybody's fault, here come another one. Here come another one. So, it sucks down there. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it's different. Rock bottom is different from coming from the bottom. If you born in the bottom, that's all I know. I knew that. I came in the game, rats and shit, roaches and fucking this. And so there was no other references around me to say that there's something bigger, because all my friends, neighbors, everybody I knew lived like me. So, but when I built something, became a millionaire, then now that's all beneath me. I'm far from that. It's over. And crashing back down there, this shit hurts bad. Depression, suicide. You know what? You know why I wanted to commit suicide? Ego. I'm embarrassed. I don't want to go be seen. I'm embarrassed. I'd rather off myself so that I don't have to be embarrassed no more by losing and failure. I'm keeping it 100. A lot of depression is tied to connection to outside perception and not yourself. It's hard to want to be depressed and want to commit suicide when you love yourself unconditionally. Even the shitty parts, the parts that's weird and funny, and it's hard. Well, hold on, I like that. Awkward parts, nervous, weird. It's hard. Let's go to the next slide. If you guys can bear with me, because I don't want to come back to this book no more. So let's just get through the rest of the slides, if that's cool. All right.
Face the symptoms. Cure the disease. Ego makes it so hard. It's easier to delay, to double down, to deliberately avoid seeing the changes we need to make in our lives. But change begins by hearing the criticism and the words of the people around you, even if those words are mean-spirited, angry, or hurtful. It means weighing them, discarding the ones that don't matter, and reflecting on the ones you do.
Now, all criticism is good criticism. Remember we had a class when somebody was like, well, how do I determine if, it's bad criticism? No, all of it's good. All of it means something, even if it comes from a mean-spirited person or a hater. Sometimes you can get the best game from somebody that is jealous of you or hating on you because it's unadulterated and it's pure and honest. Let me think about that. Let me see how that works in my life. Now absorb it all. The beauty is looking at life from a different perspective. You can be like, I lost everything, or it can be like, damn, I get to rewrite my whole life again, starting from scratch. That's dope. Even making up shit in your head to give your brain hope. Like, even if it's, you want to give your brain hope and positive reinforcement, feedback, and bright side energy. I lost it all. Wife, kids, everything. I was married for 18 years. I said, what's good? shit, my fucking clothes won't be shrunk all the time because you couldn't wash clothes for shit. Now I can keep good clothes. That's minor shit, right? But it still start feeding my brain some positive things. Man, now I can eat good meals, even though I cook it myself because she couldn't cook for shit. I get to start over. I was the problem, but on the journey, I started trying to feed myself good. Like, what's good about this shit? What's good about this situation? Because even in the darkest times, you can always find good. Always find good. What's good about this? Shit, well, at least I can just start from scratch. At least I know who my friends are, because these 3 people that still keep coming around are pretty much the only ones that's left. Now I know who my real friends are. It's always good if you look. And that's when also you know when your ego is being tempered, when you can find the good in rock bottom situations and be grateful of that good. Next slide.
Ego asks, why is this happening to me? How do I save this and prove to everyone I'm as great as they think? It's the animal fear of even the slightest sign of weakness. You've seen this. You've done this. Fighting desperately for something we're only making worse. It is not a path to great things.
No, it's not. The idea of fighting to save face is a horrible idea. Honestly, some of you guys are in relationships or at jobs or doing things because it looks good on paper. It looks good. You with that person because y'all look good in pictures. Man, y'all look good y'all are a good-looking couple. Y'all make pretty babies. Knowing that this is not it. You got with this company because of the name. It's a popular name, but in actuality, it's the worst situation for you. But, like other slides say, you double down. You're fighting desperately, and it's all in your head. That's where competition can also hurt you. Fuck what it looks like. Who gives a shit? This is your life. Your goal is to be a black swan, not in a bell curve. Black swans operate outside the norm. We can't be telling you guys to be great and be entrepreneurs and be successful financially and operate inside the bell curve. Those two things don't even exist. What was it last week? It was to want more, you got to do more. We got to operate outside. You got to move in spaces that the norm doesn't even think about. So this ego shit, if you're in a situation where you're fighting for something based on how it looks, stop immediately and drop what you got in your hand. Stop. And this is a come to Jesus moment. Because you can't continue living like this and not be great anyway. You can't continue living like this, not play this entrepreneur game. Even lions know when to retreat. You ever see it? Like, even lions know when to retreat. Lionesses and packs know when it's all bad. Monkeys don't. Not when their ego and pride is involved. You know how easy it is to catch a monkey? Easy as fuck. You get a coconut. You drill a hole in a coconut, just big enough for the monkey to reach his hand in. Put the food in. And just let it sit there. Monkey comes, sticks his hand, grabs the food, but when he makes a balled fist, he can't pull it out. So he'll sit there fighting to get that food out, and you can walk up to the monkey. He knows he's going to get captured, knowing you walking up to it, but he doesn't want to let go of the fucking food. Dead monkey. Some of us act like we're higher in the food chain, but we act like just like these fucking monkeys with our ego. Next slide.
Most trouble is temporary.
That's the realest shit ever. It feels like it's forever.
Yeah.
It feels like it's forever because the pain is so, but it's always temporary. Sorry, keep going.
Unless you make that not so. Recovery is not grand. It's one step in front of the other, unless your cure is more of the disease. Only ego thinks embarrassment or failure are more than what they are.
It goes back to nobody gives a fuck about you like that. It ain't like people tripping on you that hard. Ain't nobody tripping off you like that anyway. They just will move on to the next situation quickly. Failure and embarrassment, who gives a fuck? It's like when you are on the road to your recovery, understand that it's temporary. I had a partner, Marlon, gave me the best advice. I ain't seen him in a while. What's up, Court? How you doing? Shit, man, I'm going through it. This is at the rock bottom, man. I'm going through it. You know what Marlon told me? Keep going. And keep going. First time I ever heard that. He told me to keep going because it's temporary. And if you standing there, the reason why a lot of times it feels permanent, because you stopped and you just standing there, going through it. You stop moving. But the end of the tunnel is right there. So when you're going through it, keep going. Just keep going. Because it doesn't last forever. Next slide. Oh, give grace, give love. So what this means is the beauty of me hitting rock bottom and the beauty of you if you ever in that space. Life unfolds in a whole different way. You appreciate everything. Now you see the beauty in everything. Everybody. One of the best gifts you can give yourself at rock bottom is grace and love to yourself and others. So I don't care if you're a crackhead. If I see you and I got cash in my pocket, I'm giving it to you. I know what that shit feels like. I also don't judge you. I don't talk shit about you if you ain't got your shit together, if you ain't there. I don't make you feel, because I've been there. The 4 years that I was rock bottom, I probably looked all kind of crazy. And not together and this and that and fucking, we was a grown-ass man doing a Safeway with a fucking EBT card. Like, you go work, motherfucker. Like, I look weird, crazy. So I don't judge anybody who don't seem like they got their shit together, because who knows what stage they are in. Because I've been at that stage. So my grace is crazy for people. It's okay. Just keep going wherever you are. And give love to people. Make them feel loved. Because sometimes that's enough. Hey, I love you. It's possible for you. You can get through this. I don't got the answers. I'm not going to rescue you out your situation. You got to rescue yourself. I used to go, this is some weird shit, but it is what it is. I used to go to this, be a part of this spiritual community, and it was a lot of like some real shit, like high level spiritual folks in there, just people who had gifts. So I come around, they didn't know much. They were like, "Hey, what's up, rich man?" And I was on EBT at the time. What's up, rich man? What's up, rich man? I'm like, man, stop saying that shit. What's up, rich man? Well, if you call me rich man, where's my money at? Where's it at then? Because I'll be irritated. And they're like, it's not my job to tell you how to get it. You got to figure that out. But it's in you. And I hated it hearing that because I wanted an answer. But the truth is, it's part of the journey. So not only do you embrace that work, that journey, but you also, on your way up, you got to give grace and love to people around you, because you never know. They may see you on the way up or on the way down, or they may be a resource for you, but treat them all with love and all with grace. Any questions? Thank you. Can you give her the mic?
I'm Tish. I'm Shakina's cousin.
What's up, Tish? Nice
Hey,
to meet you.
nice to meet you too. It's good to be here. I had a question on humility. So we talk about, keep yourself in check, because stay on the low, so that your ego is in check, so that when you get the bag, you know how to act right. So if ego is such a human thing, I feel like it could just take over without you really being aware that it's taken over. So you might not even realize it's there. So what's a way to keep yourself in check when you've already kind of passed that point?
So it's like a muscle. So you're not gonna get it at the beginning. At the first stage is observation and knowing the difference, to be like, damn, I know that was my ego talking. So the first part of it is hindsight and introspection, which means after you fuck up, you think you have a think about it, right? And over time, the gap between you thinking about it starts to shrink. It shrinks, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, the think about it happens before you say it. But it takes time. So I'm like, that's one of my big ones, right? Is learning how to choose my words better, and I'm still learning. When my ego spikes up, you got me fucked up, right? The goal is to get to a point to where that introspection happens before you say it. And your brain says, you got me fucked up, but it doesn't come out your mouth. And then you say, your thought is like, what would a humble person say? What's the smart thing to say? What's the best thing to say? And then that way, that system two starts taking over the space between stimulus and response. So that's really all this game is about, is widening the space between stimulus and response. As black people, the space between stimulus and response is so fucking tiny that we don't give ourselves a chance to say nothing but going from 0 to 100. You got me fucked up. I beat your ass. What you say to me, like it's all there. The goal is through practice, introspection, everything, to just keep widening that space to where if somebody called you the N-word, you got hella plays in your head. How do I want to play this? Do I want to get money? Do I want this? Do I want the person in jail? Like, what plays do I want to play? Now you empower. You know what I'm saying? It's that. Quick story, and I think I might have told this. I'm at my dad's funeral. So my dad had passed away. I was grateful for him because he suffered for so many years, and he needed them drugs to keep him balanced. So I was happy that he finally got to a place where he can be at peace. But like, it was a whole side on the other side of this funeral that was on some other shit, right? So I felt there was some back and forth between, the side of his family and then the other side, and back and forth talking. So I said, let me just calm this. It's my dad's day. You know what I'm saying? It's my dad's day. Let me just talk to them. So I go over to the other side and say, hey, can we talk about, can we just, I try to say something like peaceful. Hey, can we just make this a peaceful event for my dad's day? And the lady said, because this was in St. Louis, she said, if you don't take your California ass back over there to the other side. So I thought I said, excuse me, can you repeat yourself? But I guess my stimulus and response thing didn't work. So I said, bitch, what the fuck you say to me? And the whole side stood up and it became a melee, like WWE. At my dad's funeral. My stimulus response didn't even work. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. But any other questions? Anything else? All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next week.